I've been there's lots of good online courses, certificates.
Hi, Ihab. Welcome.
Hello, how's it
I-
going?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here. You are one of the top freelancers in the world today in terms of digital marketing.
Oh,
You're
thanks.
CEO. So, for people who don't know you, please tell everybody what's your journey of becoming, an SEO expert.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, as you mentioned, I've been like in the past 8 years doing mostly B2B marketing. So B2B marketing is more like not specific to one channel, but like a multi-channel marketing in what works best for mostly like SaaS companies and other smaller tech companies who like don't have a huge budget and they wanna like succeed the best they can with limited budget. So that's what I've been now doing in the past 8 years, focusing on those kind of companies. So with this, I do lots of Google ads, LinkedIn ads, also SEO and cold email prospecting. So all those four channels, we combine them and then we see like what strategies work the best and how we can do some retargeting and any other marketing strategies. And then what works best, we just like double down on it. We put more time and money and like maybe even sometimes hire people to help us manage things in them. So that's how I usually do my marketing on a daily basis.
Nice. You have a background in computer science. You're
Yeah.
very successful, and I saw you have some stat here about LinkedIn and Reddit. Why do you want
Mhm.
people to know about these stats?
So yeah, for sure, like the more the nice numbers, it shows like the importance of a channel. So here I mentioned like how many people are already in this channel, what kind of audience they are, because at the end when we do ads, we always have to focus on our target audience.
Mhm.
So this one helps you like have an overall understanding of the what kind of audience you might reach out, how many are they, if it's a big channel enough for you to grow, if maybe you might need to consider a different channel. So I always like to first go into stats. If the numbers are big and attractive, then that's something we can dive into more.
Right. So, what do you advise between LinkedIn and Reddit?
Oh, yeah, Reddit is like usually now it's becoming popular slowly, but it's still like I think it's still they're still working on adding more features. Only recently they're adding the keyword reach feature where you can start to target some keywords based on your audience. So that's something that's interesting in Reddit and it's growing. But I know like we also for the targeting, it's not like as well as the LinkedIn. Like on LinkedIn, you can target very narrow based on like job titles, company size, industries. You can narrow it all only for those specifications. But on Reddit, it's mostly now like based on interest or communities. It's not like you can do intersection between this kind and this kind to only show the ads for, but it's also cheaper and yeah, it needs more retargeting and it's a good way to spend less on it and try to get some leads and sales.
Okay. I also saw on your profile that you said a lot of website leads
Mhm.
are coming from LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Mhm.
LinkedIn is very effective for
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, because
marketing.
because in B2B, you always you want to reach out to different business people who can be like marketing managers, like procurement managers, finance managers, even safety industries. So all those are found on LinkedIn, and we can always reach out to them either by an ad or by like finding their profile, connecting with them, or using some scraping tools to get their email, reaching out to them, and then maybe even like cold calling them. So there's always lots of different ways to market to those audience within like those professional audience, not just random consumers.
Nice. Nice. That's great. Let's dive deep. Let's get into the detail, into the analysis. You like to share some of your case studies and examples of marketing you're doing right now?
Of course, yeah, for sure. So yeah,
Nice.
I'll start with I'll share my screen and start with LinkedIn ads, then move to Google ads and then SEO. Okay, I guess now you can see it. Okay, you can see my LinkedIn ad
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so here we have a Canadian client called the Newcomp. Now they're already acquired by a bigger company called Converse TP. So here is the previous campaigns we did for them. So we did here mainly three different campaigns. Yeah, and this is the good thing in like when you do ads, it shows you the metrics on how much money is spent, how many clicks they got,
Mm-hmm.
the click-through rate. So click-through rate is like based on the impressions of people saw and then who clicked. And usually with LinkedIn, we can expect around this kind of percentage. It's usually below 1%. Yeah. And then it tells you also the cost per click. So usually on LinkedIn, it's a bit expensive. So here it's like almost average $10 per click, 10 Canadian. So that's like 7, 8 USD. And then we can go more because this one was a lead generation.
Mm-hmm.
So here we track how many leads they got and then the cost for every lead based on the clicks. So depending how many clicks, it will give you the cost. And then here it will calculate for you. So now if we dive more into like some of the campaigns. So under the first campaign, like we had different, because we do so many of them, because we always do like different audience targeting, different strategies, different images, and we always see what works best, what doesn't. So here after doing so many of them, we found out this one has been doing the best. That's
Wow.
why you see the spend that's way bigger than all of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Those one like they struggled a bit, so we had to pause them,
Mm-hmm.
and then we dived into more of this one. So if we check of like the targeting, here's how you can do some targeting, and the campaign of has worked based on the audience we chose. So it was here, it's just they were only targeting Canada,
Okay.
and then we had that subtitles they wanted. So they were targeting mostly like data scientist, analyst, head of IT services. And then they also had some specific industries. So they were more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like telecom, venture capitals, government, manufacturing, fashion. And then for the company size, they were targeting like from 51, so like smaller ones, all up to enterprise size of companies. So here was all the target for them. And usually it can give us the size, but right now, because it's an older account, it's not available anymore. And also in LinkedIn, the good thing you can also exclude certain audience.
Yeah.
So here like we excluded some students, cashiers, intern, because we realized we got some clicks on those kind of subtitles,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not like part of the audience, so we had to exclude them. And we also excluded certain like competitors and other company and some industries that didn't get any leads from. So we usually start a bit abroad, and then every time we analyze demographics, we start to like exclude certain audiences. That way we only get clicks from the people who we want the most, not just from anyone.
Well, this sounds very effective. A lot of details in the ad.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of it goes into the audience research and targeting. And
Mhm.
that's where we always optimize based on the audience. And then also sometimes we go later into the ad. So the ad is the visual, what people see. And most of them are images.
Mhm.
And then on top of the image, we have headline and then we have intro text. And also here, that's where you put the bidding. So they were spending 150 Canadian per day.
Mhm.
So that's like maybe 120 US, 110.
Mhm.
And I always also, in the bidding strategy, I like to do manual
Mhm.
because LinkedIn always likes to take your money. So
Mhm.
I always like to manual bid, control it, and then try to always have a bid that's usually between this number or sometimes smaller. Because if you do maximum, it can even give you a click that's like very expensive, 20, $30.
Mhm.
So we don't want to just waste money on clicks.
So what was the goal of this campaign? What you guys are
Oh,
trying to do?
yeah, it was a lead generation. So it takes users to a form on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and then they submit the form, and then this form goes straight to the sales team, and then the sales team can reach out to those leads by email or phone number.
Form and you want to get people emails so
Mhm.
the sales teams can reach out to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way we set it up. And now I will show you also how the creatives look like. So I showed you now the targeting and the research we did, and then here is when one layer below, it shows you the actual what people will see. So here's one example. And I also do like different version. So for like usually the horizontal or the square are for desktop, and then for like vertical are for mobile.
Yeah.
So we do different similar ads, but different. Like we do some A/B testing in them. Like we do some minor changes, different text, or we always try different ways of what works best in those format. Yeah. So here's the one. So here was the text for it. So that's how people will see it actually. So they will
Okay.
see the company name, they will see how many followers they have, and then they will it will so promoted. Yeah, that way people will know it's an ad and not like organic post. That's why LinkedIn has promoted under it. And then they will see the image here and then the headline. And then they click if they click download, that's where it takes them to the form.
Okay.
So they have to give you the phone number
Mhm.
and the email. And then this one's all pre-filled, so they don't have to fill anything for them. It's scraped from their profile, and then they do click submit, and then it goes to the sales team. So that's how usually it works on LinkedIn.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
so effective. It's good.
Yeah, for sure. And this one is also the same, but for mobile, where it's a vertical ad. So on mobile, it will look even nicer than here. Here, it looks a bit cut, but sometimes the preview isn't always the best.
Wow, so this is good because they can just fill out the form on LinkedIn, so they don't have
Yeah, exactly.
to leave
Yeah,
LinkedIn.
without going to, yeah. Like also there's on LinkedIn, there's another option
Mhm,
in the campaign where you can also send them to your website or a landing page.
mhm.
But usually this option has the highest conversion rate. So most of my SaaS and tech clients, I always like to have some kind of campaign as a lead gen for them.
So this is lead generation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other one is called website conversion.
Mhm.
That's why because then they convert on your website instead of on LinkedIn itself. But usually it's a lower conversion rate.
Wow. So how do you make a LinkedIn campaign like this? How do you make them effective? What's the strategy behind this? Because you have a lot of A/B testing, a lot of campaign here.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, usually on our strategy, I like to always start a little bit broad, like not too broad, like still within the audience we want.
Mhm.
But then once we run it, we go back to the like under campaign, you're able to analyze the demographics. So you want the example of like the here, you click demographics,
Mhm.
and then you'll be able to analyze, and that's where we always. So we analyze this every 2, 3 weeks,
Mhm.
and what got us the least leads, we always exclude. And when you analyze, you can always analyze in terms of like job title, function, industry, seniority, the company size. So there's always here it shows you what's most effective. Yeah. And I usually like to see the completion rate. So
Mhm.
like anything below like 8, 7%, I like to exclude if they also got some form open.
Mhm.
So that's one way of like optimizing the campaigns.
Mhm.
And this is only for one campaign. So I usually do this for all the active campaigns on every 2, 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And then I also analyze the ads, the same idea on like look what kind of ads got the best leads and what didn't work very well. Because that's a good thing on the ad platform. They
Mhm.
always give you metrics.
Yes.
So the metrics will help you analyze what's working best. So here's the same thing. Every ad will tell you how much it spent, how many leads it got, and then that's how I analyze and see if I pause anything. For this one, had the best cost per lead, I guess. That was $93. Like comparing to other ads, this one was more expensive. So like this one was the most. So this one I will pause the first. Maybe this one keep my eyes on it. If it's gonna also be above 200, then pause it. And then what we do is for like the winning ad,
Mhm.
we duplicate it again and then we try different text on it or change a bit and
Mhm.
then see if we can also get maybe better results or at least reduce audience fatigue because we don't want the same people to keep seeing the same ad and getting bored from it.
Right.
So it's always good to be a little bit creative. So with them something a bit different, maybe different colors,
Mhm.
different text, different headline or call to action. So that's like the way to have a good successful campaign.
So in the beginning, the company give you a budget. They say, hey, we have this budget for marketing and we wanna, let's say we're looking to get 100 people or 1,000 people. Is that what they give you as target?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. Usually I also ask questions. So I ask them about their budget, about their competitors, like what kind of audience they want to target.
Mhm.
So once I have all the information, I then use it to start building campaigns, doing research on what is actually found on LinkedIn, because sometimes they might give me certain industries or certain subtitles that may not be found on LinkedIn. So
Right.
I always have to make sure everything they gave me is already found. And then I tell them like maybe we can try first 2 or 3 campaigns. And then because it's daily budget, so I tell them like if you want to spend $5,000 a month, so we should do $50 a year, another 50 here, or $100 here. And then we always like see which campaign to put less or to pause, and which campaign we should add more per day to spend. Because the more we spend, the more clicks we get. And the more clicks we get, the more leads we can get. And we keep doing this like for different campaigns, and always like expanding on how we can maybe even increase the budget.
So I see for one campaign, it's gonna take multiple ads actually. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's not just one campaign, one ad. You start by
Yeah,
running some ad that just to test, and then you post those ads, you get the results, you improve those. So it's like a really like a living thing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You always want to try different ads within the same campaign because you don't want to make people bored, and at the same time you want to see what works best. So I would recommend at least 5 ads, but it also depends on the budget. So even if the budget is bigger, you can even do like 10 ads, that way it can split evenly for those certain ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes even different landing pages, like we can do an A/B test on a landing page. Maybe one landing page has different way of call to action or different way of describing something. So there's always lots of testing to be done.
So for someone who has a website who looking to traffic to their website, they can also
Yeah.
run a campaign here on LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. If the traffic falls within the audience of B2B and they have enough budget, then LinkedIn will be a very good channel for them to start with.
But LinkedIn ads, like you said, they're like more expensive than Google ads, right?
Yeah, a little bit more, but not too much more. Because even Google Ads can be sometimes expensive. Depends on the keyword and the strategy. Yeah, because those are the 2 biggest channels. So usually they are more expensive than other smaller ones.
So this is LinkedIn. Then you have another one, right?
Yeah, the other one is a different client. So the other one is Google Ads. So here it was called FY. They're based in Australia. So also so on Google Ads it works a bit different than LinkedIn. On Google Ads, the main audience is based on keywords, not based on like titles or description or like industry. So here's also an example of the 3 different campaigns we did. And the way we do our targeting is under the keywords. That's what people search for, and then they find according what they write. And then in keywords, they also have different match type. So usually I recommend mostly phrase or exact, but here you can see broad because we were doing some tests back then, so as to discover newer keywords. So here's where you can put all the keywords. And also before we do this, we have different tools for keyword research, or sometimes the client also gives us some keyword ideas, and then we also do our own research before we add on Google campaign. And then part of the optimization, we usually look at the search terms. So search terms is a bit different than keywords. Search term is like what people actually wrote. So usually search term triggers the closest keyword with their Google AI. So here's what people actually wrote, and they found the ad based on the keyword we told it to trigger.
Wow. So what was the goal of this campaign? What are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, so also for those 2 campaigns were also mostly, as you can see here, there's the conversions. So they wanted mostly free trials and book a demo. So that's also leads, but 2 different kind of leads. So one lead as a free trial. So at least they have something without paying. And then this one's just like a meeting where they book, like they request a demo, and then they have like a half an hour meeting with the sales. So also this campaign has been very successful. Like it only spent 1,800 Australian, which is like 1,200 US, and it got pretty good amount of leads. So it got mainly those 2. So 22 for the request and 38 for the free trials. So it had a very low cost, and even the cost per click was pretty low. You can see average was only like less than $1. Comparing to LinkedIn, it was closer to like $9.
So
Yeah,
this
and
is
the
like
CTR is high.
so this campaign, do they need to file a form also?
Okay, I don't know. This one it's a web conversion. So this one takes them to the landing page of the website of the client's page. They have it still active. So this one is taking them to the homepage.
Okay.
So under the homepage, they're able to book a demo, and after they book, it will trigger like the conversion here. So and then also have different. So this one is a specific landing page for email management. So this one will be, I would recommend on Google Ads to have more like those kind of landing pages rather than just the homepage, because then on landing page you are more specific to the keywords and headlines you want people to find you, and not like for a broad homepage, their landing page for it. And they have here the call to action, and then after people submit, it also tracks them as a lead.
Wow, it's a great campaign. You're getting very good result here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think because also most of their target, like people already somehow heard of them, they had other brand awareness from like other social media. So once we did this Google Ads, it gave them a very big boost because they were already somehow familiar in the Australian market, the company FYI.
So how do you choose the keywords? What tool do you use to search for the keyword?
Yeah, so for keywords, there's like different tools. So one tool I can use is called Spyfoo, where you can also search for a keyword, and then it will show you like the volume, how much the volume is, the impressions. So I like to try to target keywords that are relevant and that also have a search volume. And then also, like once we add the keywords, I would also like to add the negative keywords. So those ones are like keywords that you don't want people to see you for. So every few days, I always like to see the search terms are, and then add different negative keywords, so that because the AI doesn't always trigger something good. So we always add negative keywords ongoing, and then saves us money on.
The Google Ads, you can also target the location, right? You can choose the country.
Yes, yeah. So and also yeah, so under also under each campaign, they have some options in the location and then some other like targeting. But mostly we use it for location targeting. So under more details, you're able to see the settings of some of the audience you want. But mainly it's the keywords that does most of it. So here we will only targeting Australia.
What is better, targeting one country or having multiple countries?
Now it depends on like your business where you want to operate.
Mhm.
So both of them works pretty well. And if you sometimes what you can do, you can also split campaigns into countries. So let's say you have one campaign for like maybe North America and then maybe another campaign for Europe. So because since they're two different provinces, like continents, different laws, different system, it might be a good idea to have them as a separate campaign. That way, under each campaign, you're able to customize your headlines, your description, all this. So here's like the way on Google. That's the way of headlines description we can customize for people to see. So this is the landing page, and then here's the headline, and then it gives you here example on how it will look like when people search for similar keywords. So this is the headline, and this is the description.
So what would you say is what is too short? Like, how long do you need to run a campaign? Is it one day too short? You need at least 5 days, and what is too long?
Yeah, I think too short will be less than a week because the learning alone is like 6 days where the AI starts to learn and then tries to find what you in impressions for the best audience in terms of the behavior. So I think maybe an average 1 month should be good. So maybe above 1 month for the same campaign, that will be too long. I think 3 to 4 weeks is the best time for a campaign to run. And then either 3, 4 weeks after we analyze and optimize for like any keywords landing page, either then we can move to try a bit more, or then just pause it if it's not doing any good.
Wow, so this is good. So the difference between Google Ads here and the one you show in the beginning, LinkedIn ads, is this one seems to be more a little bit effective and also less expensive, right?
Yeah, because those one they had more brand awareness.
Mhm.
So Google Ads was a very big boost for them, and it gave them much more success than because on LinkedIn we were doing mostly for older audience, but here it seems like they had some more warmer audience, so that's why it's more effective. But every client has different success.
Yeah.
Some clients see more success on Google, but some see more success on LinkedIn. So it depends how everything is under control.
So what do you think is the minimum budget like for this type of campaign, in Google ads or LinkedIn ad? What's do you think
Yeah,
is the minimum to get results?
yeah, I would say around minimum maybe like 1,000 per
Mhm.
month per campaign.
Mhm.
That way we have like because since the clicks can be expensive, so it's good to have like a bigger daily budget so you can get more clicks. Then at the end of the month, you have enough clicks to analyze of those clicks, how many of them became a lead, and then of those leads, how many became a customer after discussing with the sales team.
So next tool you want to show is gonna be
Okay, so yeah. So next, yeah, it's actually it will be more in the SEO side. It's a tool I used called Href. So this is Href. So this tool is like more of SEO analysis. So it
okay.
doesn't do SEO for you, but it helps you know how the website is doing in terms of domain rating, keyword ranking, site audit, technical problems. So it's a very full analysis of all the SEO going on your website. So using this tool, I also have another Australian client called Dynamo Fitness. Here is like when we started with them around late December, mid or early December. So it's been almost 5-6 months with them. So I use this tool every few weeks to see how they've been doing with my work. And most of my work was building backlinks for them and optimizing their contents. So first using this tool, I can see some of like improvement they had. So here is something called referring domains. So this is the unique backlink. So once we started around here, December, so we can see we got them some good backlinks in the past few months. So here they had more now it's their ranking for better backlinks and then also their domain rating. It was like closer to 25. And then I think here they did some black hat technique, which is against Google's guideline. So sometimes what happens is it can go up very high. And then after a human or the robots, they do crawling again if they saw that.
So if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe and check my courses online. So you can go at Online Campus School and subscribe here and hit the notification so you get notified anytime you upload new videos. We have very interesting content here. So feel free to go ahead and watch whatever you like. You can also check my courses on Udemy. This is one of my latest course, Solar System 101 course for all level. This is one of the
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm MD Jallo. I am an educator, a project manager, a data analyst about space and the long skills from public available information. Would you like to learn and refresh your knowledge about what is space? How big is space? About our solar system, about our own star, the sun, Kuiper Belt, the Earth cloud, beyond our solar system, with exoplanets and galaxies, planets, dwarf planets, moons in our solar system, and then learn about eclipses, asteroids. Come, I will see you inside the course. Ready, set, let's go.
So you can check that course if you like it to learn a little bit about our solar system, and also have other courses there. You can see here some other courses. The Ultimate Amazon Leadership Principle Masterclass, complete course on top 41 legit ideas to make money, a brief beginner's guide to gaming, a brief introduction about America. That's a great course also. Starting a business in America as a foreigner. Okay, that one also is a great course. Of course, the solar system course, one of the highest rated course right now on Udemy. Very hard. Make sure to check it out. All right, back to the video.
Of black hat, they then put you back on low. So that's why they had a spike. So this happened from a previous agency before they met me. And then after this, I kept like doing quality backlinks, and now I got them to 40 domain rating. So they were technically around 30s, or 30 or 32, and now their domain rating improved pretty good since then. And domain rating is a lot based on backlinks and trust. So it's the more Google see you have people pointing to you, the more they trust you, and then the more they trust you based on your contents, they will start ranking you higher based on your like the keywords you're doing, what you're talking about, all the stuff. And so here is where we can actually see the traffic and the keywords. So here we can see the top 10 keywords. So before I started, they were like only at like around 1,000 keywords on their first page. And then they had some fluctuation because of some black hat they did. And then after we started around here, now they're like closer to 2,000. So that's almost, they doubled their keywords in the past 5-6 months. That's also only on the first page. And if you want to also go like any other keywords, even like after first page, like it can be even page 5, 6, 7. So they did another double here. So they were around 14,000 and now they're like 22,000. So that's another 10,000 keyword index somewhere on the second, third, fourth page. So the SEO is doing very well.
So what was the goal of this campaign? Just the traffic to their website?
Yeah, traffic based on good keywords. So here, if we check the keywords that got some traffic and some posts, we can see some great improvements. Today, I like to always do based on the volume because they want to only be found mostly in Australia. So here's the highest volume, and here is like because there's always fluctuation, but they also had some good keywords going up. So you can see some of them got down and lost, and the majority of them improved, especially this was as main keyword. So this was on the second page, and now it's on the first page, Zoom equipment. So this keyword has been a very important one. So that's how organic SEO works. There's always ups and downs, but what we do is our focus keywords, we always write more content about them. And that's how we usually start ranking them higher.
So they come to you, let's say someone has a business, someone has a fitness, a gym, and they're gonna come to you. They say, hey, Ihab, I wanna do digital marketing using SEO. So how do you start? Where do you get?
Okay. So yeah, So at the beginning, I also start with some questions like what kind of keywords do you want to focus on? Maybe their service competitors. And then I start my keyword research. Also, my keyword research, I use this tool. So if you go to Keywords Explorer, you are able to write here or copy paste so many of them. And that will tell you each one, like here, gym equipment. If we write it, we are able to see the keyword. So this keyword is also very hard to rank, but despite the fact we're still we're able to get them on the first page. So this is a very good success. And then it tells you here the volume. So this volume should be under the country. So you have volume and then you have global volume. So this is telling you 14,000 per month for Australia. So that's the main focus. So usually I do keyword research and try to find usually sometimes lower difficulty with at least volume, maybe above 500 a month. And then after we have those keywords listed, we start writing contents based on those keywords. And usually the contents I also made a nice guide on how to write very good contents that will rank on Google. So this was also an example I did for the same client. So here's the title meta, and then I put all the ranking rules, tips, what you need, H1, H2. So all those are like the technical on-page SEO, internal links, alt text. So I wrote, and then also what other you can do. And then even for word count, I realized most of the competitors, they have huge articles. So I was suggesting to focus on 1,000 word plus articles. And then the example was here that we wrote for them. So after all those what we wrote were applied in one of the article we did. The internal links, the H1, H2, even here some H3. So all this is what Google will really value. And then have the crawlers rank you higher for the content.
So you also write the content yourself?
Yeah, I have like not myself, but I have like a writer that like I still help him for the technical, like to make sure all those are followed. I do the quality control. And then I also sometimes, if there's any problems here, I do some minor changes to it. And then we publish this on their blog articles.
So how important is writing the content? Let's say someone has a website of their gym, but they don't write any blog, they don't have any content. Is that a bad sign?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because SEO is like relies mostly on contents. So you need lots of contents to rank high. If you don't have much content on your website or it's not the blog, that won't help you rank very high. You can still have backlinks. Backlinks, you don't really need content on your website, but still, like if you don't have, because you need them both. It's like they both work together. So you cannot have one missing. You need both backlinks and good content to have you ranking better.
So for writing this content, do you have to write them directly from your website, or can you write them, let's say you have a newsletter on LinkedIn, or you have, I don't know, in Instagram or other account? Is that helpful, or you have to be a content from your website?
No, usually just we do research. So one thing we can use also is ChatGPT. So on ChatGPT is like it helps us find the topics for those kind of keywords, and then after we find it, we tell it to write us some of the headers, H2, H3, and then we tell it to later elaborate on each of those headers, and then it will give us like more paragraphs according to those kind of headers. And then as a next step, I also have a different tool called Neuron Writer. So here it's, so this is a tool where once you have your content, you copy paste, and then and then what it does is it scrapes all the similar keywords on the first page, and then it will help you what you can also add more, what you can do change, and it also gives you a score on how well is your article on the meta description, H1, H2, everything. So I also use this tool to optimize the article to make sure it will rank like very good and maybe even better than competitors.
Wow. So ChatGPT and AI, how is that helpful? How is changing the landscape of digital marketing right now?
It's changing a lot. Especially it's mostly the content, I feel, because now articles are very easy to write on ChatGPT. All you have to do is just tell it what to write, and then you can customize it from using this kind of tool, Neuron Writer, or even on your own. And even for researching, instead of going to Google and having to read like 20 websites, ChatGPT will always like scrape for you the most relevant and will have all the contents ready for you to use as your own, like for articles, or to use them as a research, and then you can always add, remove. So it makes digital marketing very easy. And it also has so many different prompts to help you, like less manual work, and then like more automated work. So it's very powerful, and it's important to keep using ChatGPT.
So do you think it's gonna, are you optimistic about it, or are you part of the people who are scared? You think it's gonna replace people's jobs, or
No, it's still hard to replace people's jobs because still you still have a human who can always for this example, like here where you need some a writer to use it and then optimize, because ChatGPT doesn't do this for you.
Right.
Because ChatGPT it can reduce the jobs, but it won't eliminate them. There should be, and plus right now it's only showing till 2021, so it will still take more time until it shows up to 2023. So there's still lots of room for writers to still make money and still have jobs. And now they can maybe do more work by using ChatGPT. So it can help, I think, most people.
Wow. So this SEO, do you use paid ads for the SEO, or this just organic? Like you don't.
This only organic. So paid ads is totally different than SEO. SEO is just mostly the backlinks and very good contents. That's the two main ranking factors for SEO.
So what's the goal of SEO? Like so they're trying to get a good ranking on Google, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be found on first page. So when people search for like anything they want, same equipment, so that's where people want to always be, somewhere here.
So for a good SEO campaign, how long it take, and what's the minimum budget?
Okay, so SEO is actually it's more long-term work. So I would say SEO, like give it a couple of months, maybe 4 or 5, and then the budget's really up to how much people are able to put. But usually it's good to have like maybe also another 1,000 per month minimum, so they can have some good backlinks, outreach, and then also to have money for writers to write their contents. Unless they are a writer themselves, and it will save them lots of money on doing it alone without hiring someone. So it's not like paid ads where you have to pay, you are forced to pay. This one, you can always find ways to lower your spending on SEO.
Nice. So someone can start with SEO and then run that, because that one is more cost effective. They're cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. On the long term, SEO is usually better, because also in the people using ad blockers, and they might not always trust ads, but usually they might trust something organic when you are already on first page. They know that you put some efforts to really be shown here. So I think SEO is always better for getting clicks and growing the business in the long term. But ads are good for the A/B testing, what works best. So, and sometimes you have a new product or a new service, you wanted to get it out very fast, or you do some retargeting. So that's where paid ads can be very important too.
Wow. Wow, you're right, because a lot of people don't like clicking on ads. Sometimes, like you said, they don't trust. But SEO, when you search on Google, you see the ranking, and mostly you trust the first page.
Yeah, exactly, because Google only will rank you top if they trust you, and then if they like your content, and if it's relevant to the keyword people are writing about, trying to find.
So do you think right now with with ChatGPT, right? And Google Bard. A lot of people are not now going to Google; they're just asking ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
how that gonna impact, the website ranking business?
I think in the terms of ranking, it will still be the same, but then they will probably experience less clicks because instead of people always searching on Google and finding what they need, they might just find it on ChatGPT. So that will be the biggest impact, just the number of clicks per week or per day.
So it may reduce the number of clicks, but the ranking gonna still be the same. Once you get to
Yeah.
Google, you're gonna still be have your good ranking. Man, that's good. You're doing good, man. That's
Yeah.
this is just an examples, and this is why you are rated one of the top freelancer in the world today in digital marketing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
and
for sure, because
you
I
really
like to be multi-channel marketing.
yeah. How long you been doing this? How many years?
Yeah, so yeah, 8 years now.
8 years. Wow, almost 10 years doing this. You have a background in computer science, and you
Yeah.
look details, you look at the data, you really, that's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's also something I like to do, not just like want to do it just for a living.
Right.
So it also makes different when you like something. You always like to learn it more, and you always like to explore different options, different solutions for different business, for different budget. I always want to try to work with most companies too and help them as much as possible.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So do you have any other examples, or this is it for now? You want to
Yeah, that's most, yeah, I saw, yeah, that's it for now. Those three main
Right.
channels and success I've been doing for those companies.
Okay, nice. Thank you for sharing. This is good.
Yeah, for sure. No problem.
So if you want to just stop sharing, so
Oh, yeah, for sure.
wow, that was awesome. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
for sure. That was good.
So what other tools would you like to share? What other tool you use? Talk about.
Yeah, there's okay. Yeah, usually for tools, I also sometimes like to always browse some tools. So it depends like what client are asking for. I like to always research and see if some tools are there for it. So other nice tools could be like one called What Converts. So What Converts is like a full, so it tells you from the leads, from where they came from, if they came from Google Ads, LinkedIn Ads, or organic SEO or social media. And then also if you had sales, it also tracks them too. So because people they need this so that they know which channel is doing the best for them, so they can always like put more money into it or pause or allocate differently. So that's something I also like to use. And yeah, those are the main tools I've been using.
So you talked about LinkedIn ads. You really went to details there, Google ads and SEO. That was really good. Thank you for doing that. And so how about the other like Reddit ads, Bing ads, Instagram
Okay.
ads, YouTube ads? How do you?
Okay. So yeah, Reddit ads is also I've been only like a few months into it, so it's been 6 months. Yeah, it's also not too bad. Like, but the targeting is still, I feel they're still working on it. So that's something we can also move more in the future for. But it's very good because it's very cheap. Like you can get clicks only for 20, 30 cents. And then you can also upload your audience for retargeting. So I feel Reddit is not bad. And Bing Ads is very similar to Google, but just less traffic. So we can also launch the same strategy for it, but just expect less traffic and then also have less budget for it. It's not like a channel that we can grow too much on. Facebook, Instagram, like I started those at the beginning, mostly for like e-commerce, but now I stopped them and I'm mostly focusing on the B2B side. So not much updated into Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, and for YouTube, that's also under Google. So you can use like a Google banner, like, and then have those display images. Because I don't like those videos that like always distract people watching their videos. So I prefer not to do too much of this ad. So for YouTube, I prefer like the image ad, where people can just click on it if they like the image.
So do you think that Instagram ads, Facebook ads, they're less effective than the YouTube one because because it's not B2B, that's why you stop them, or you want to
Oh,
focus more on the business?
yeah, exactly. It's mostly because I want to be more into the B2B. So it's good to have like a specialty. If you want to be like everywhere, it will be a bit hard to like grow the business pretty well. And then you want to be, it's good to master skills rather than knowing everything in a like low level. So you also need to master a couple of channels make sure you can get the most success out of, and just from there you can always grow the business rather than doing too many things and being scattered.
So what's your thought about Reddit? I'm not on Reddit, so I'm trying to get in there. I'm mostly on YouTube. And what do you think? Because it's kind of a very good platform for people who go in the tech. They have a lot of expert there. Do you think it's gonna grow like LinkedIn in the future?
Yeah, for sure. It will, because now also on Reddit, lots of US companies are there and tech companies. So that's where people like to research, and they go very into like details, and so it's pretty deep there. And also it's flexible where you can add memes, sometimes can be more like conversation and have some fun. And so it's a nice mix between B2B in a less serious way than LinkedIn.
Yeah, people already they're really serious. Like if those groups, if they start discussing about it, they have a lot of experts there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many experts that that's why it's good to do some ads and target those and see if they might be interested in solutions or software or tools.
All right. Email marketing. How does it work?
Okay, yeah. So for email marketing, there's usually two ways of doing it. One is like the subscribers, where like you have MailChimp or those Aweber, those kind of tools. People subscribe to your, and then you just reach out to them with like updates about the company, about new features or service. So that's one way of people to do it. But the way I do it is like with different tools. Like I can use Limlist or Demand Cloud, and this is for like to reach out to people that they don't know you. So also it's mostly for B2B the way I do it, where we scrape contacts from LinkedIn. We take all their emails and we add them to a campaign, and then we reach out to them for like five different sequences. And usually we always try to have it like more conversational and ask them maybe questions to get them to reply back. And then at the end, try to offer them a meeting and maybe even like a pitch. But we don't go straight to a pitch on an email because it's like it won't really work that well.
So you use MailChimp for the email marketing?
That's for subscribers, but I don't use it. I don't usually do email subscription, but so I use mostly Limlist. So Limlist is like a simple tool for email where you can always upload your leads and then reach out to them. And there's also another tool called Apollo. So Apollo also has like a two-in-one where you can scrape the emails and then add them straight to campaign and reach out to them right away. So that's also, and you also have to warm up your email. So it can be some technical stuff to set up at the beginning, where you have to send some emails to people who will only mark you as important and white label you. And after you get lots of white labels, then your domain score will improve. And then once you send to strangers, it will go to their inbox instead of going to their spam folder. So that's one good way to do email.
So we have a lot of different marketing campaigns to do, email marketing, paid ads, SEO. So how do you know what is the right campaign to run?
That's why I like to always specialize in like as a B2B multi-channel marketer. So it's good to always try all the channels and like try to perfect them the most we can, give them time. And then once like time comes, we always analyze what has been working the best in terms of cost, quality leads, growth, and then that's where we start to going more into channels or exploring different channels.
So is email marketing a good strategy for marketing?
Yeah, called email prospecting. Yeah, very good, because you can also target those audience on LinkedIn based on their title, industry, and stuff, size. So it's like paid ads, but way less expensive. You just extract the email, and then you can reach out to them 5-6 times. And then also, if you have some people on your sales team who are good in cold callings, they give them their phone numbers, and then maybe also do some cold calling for them, which can also have like different multi-touch. So you are touching them on the email side, on LinkedIn side, on the phone number side. And this will always help to get more conversions from the people that you want to know more about you or becoming your customer.
You also do SaaS. So what is
SaaS
and how does it work?
Yeah, so SaaS is mainly that kind of clients I target. Those are like the software as a service who are like within their 5th year in business or 6th year, and they're ready to take it to the next level. So that's where I come in and success to them to try all those channels based on my experience of different clients. And then from this, we also analyze what works best and then how we can move forward in those kind of companies.
So what are examples of SaaS right now?
SaaS, oh, there's lots of companies into this area. So SaaS can be like, even like Upwork is like a SaaS where people use it to communicate with freelancers, that clients get job. So there's like, even like Airbnb, like anywhere, but even Uber. So there's like, but those are the bigger SaaS companies. The smaller SaaS companies can be like the tools I use, like NeuronWriter, Href, the Limlist, Apollo. Those are also different SaaS companies for marketing. So there's lots of very nice SaaS companies in different areas.
So you reach out to them and you try to help them grow, right? Like
Yeah.
all these tools using SEO, grow, or pay ads, or email marketing. You try to give them the full package.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. And then from after getting the traffic they want, then to get the leads they want, and then the sales they want to. But it all starts from getting the good brand awareness and traffic.
So how do you become a top freelancer? What is the for 8 years?
Okay.
What is the discipline? Because it has to take a lot of hard work, discipline, loving what you do. You know, all these reviews I saw on you, they have great reviews.
Yeah,
Everybody likes what you're doing. How do
yeah,
you
exactly.
how do you do that?
Okay, it's between being like very good in communication with the clients, explaining everything to them, being transparent in work, showing them like you will sometimes do some extra work for them even without charging. So that's like one way. And then also with this, you also want to provide quality. Like you want to show them that you know what you're doing, show them the results that's coming in, maybe compare them with competitors, see that you're doing better job than their competitors. So there's always with like between technical skills and soft skills. So we need to have those two main things to really be the top rated on any channel, not just on Upwork.
Yeah, because it's very, very hard to do. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have clients that are gonna ask you a lot of things to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna take you a lot of time, a lot of hours, and as
Yeah, for sure.
it's not cost effective for you, but you still try to do it to do some extra work for them so
Yeah.
you can build a good relationship with them for the future.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sometimes I refer them to some people I know who can also help them maybe for a better price. And then I can still be like in the quality control management, like give them different solution to help them within like their budget too.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks.
That's really a big achievement. Like because this one is just something you deserve. It's just right there online. You know,
Yeah,
it's showing everything is transparent, what you're doing, all the jobs you've done, and all the reviews. Just impressive. It's impressive, especially in the
yeah,
field
for sure.
of marketing, where it's something it's not very tangible. You know, it's something like an
Yeah,
art, right? You have to be
yeah,
able to
exactly.
communicate very well what you're doing is effective, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah. So for someone who want to be like you out there in high school or someone who in college who want to be
Yeah.
a great SEO expert for the next 5 to 10 years, so what gonna be
Yeah.
your advice for them?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So yeah, I feel it's mostly like self-taught. Like I don't feel like being in college or university is the best way to go about it because there's now lots of ways to learn online. There's lots of good online courses, certificates. So it would always success if they focus more on their own path, like learning it on their own, taking courses, maybe on like Udemy or other certified platforms. And then they can still start for like maybe volunteering for some clients just for a few hours, get some portfolio, learn some skills, or even if they want to do it on their own, maybe if they can start with a small blogging website, try to do some, SEO tricks on it, see how well it ranks, and try to do some Google ads, maybe build some social media, build some subscribers, followers. So it's also good to test on your own first and have this as like your own portfolio. And then once you try to apply for a job or a client position, like you have something to present for them. And then based on this, try to have like your first client. And then from there, keep building your case studies, show them the good results, and then go for the second, third client, and keep learning all the time.
So how important is those certification? I saw on your profile you did a lot of Google certifications. Effective? Are those good?
Yeah, I think when people reach out, I think they probably already have seen them. So they usually have this quick trust, and then it helps to get the contract much faster than lots of process and technical interviews.
So the skills someone learned with this Google certification, are they good to become a marketing?
Yeah, for sure, because it's also easy to get, and you don't need to put too much time and money on it. So if anything like the certificates that are not too expensive and not too time consuming, it's always better to have, even if it can give you a little boost, but it's always better.
Yeah, certification, volunteering for companies, and building your portfolio, starting small. That's good. I also saw a lot of freelancers, they try to reach out to the customer and they say, hey, I saw your website and I think you need some SEO. He did some SEO for you.
Okay, yeah.
Feel free to use them. If you like it, then you can reach out to me. You can negotiate a contract. I saw a lot of people now doing at least one work up front because of the competition, just to show the customer that they can do the job.
Yeah, for sure. That's also very helpful. Like when you give someone free audit, even without them asking, like they will say, "Oh, I didn't know I had this problem." It's like you went in there fixing a car. Sometimes you might go for a small problem, and then they will tell you, "I found you different problems," and they will show you the proof. So that helps building trust, and then like what you're talking about, and then that also helps to get those clients or even upselling, because I also like to do lots of upselling where I might get clients for a small contract for maybe like, let's say, Reddit ads or LinkedIn ads, but then I start going to see how their SEO is doing, how their other channels are doing, and then I tell them, you have a couple of problems here, and then after I do some free audit for them, usually I get more contracts from the same client. So that's another way to succeed, using your own existing clients than always trying to find newer clients and being harder on yourself.
Wow, that's really good. Like, you have a work with them, and then because SEO, you can go check on their website, check on
exactly.
the platform and say, hey, this way. And that's really effective. That's really good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, upselling is also very important in business to help you grow, because that's how I got most of those bigger clients, starting just from one channel, small contracts, all up to the thousands per month of contracts.
Yeah, Ihab, I'm so happy for you what you're doing there. I'm gonna add your LinkedIn in the description of this video.
Oh, perfect.
People who are interested in marketing and SEO, they can reach out to you. You are very one of the top freelancers in the world today. You're a rising talent, and as you can see in this interview, you love what you do. You have a lot of expertise. So yeah, so thank you for being here, and I hope we get to see you again next time.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully too. All right, then enjoy your day and we'll catch up.
Thank you. Bye-bye.